Once upon a time, in a land ruled by a wise and benevolent king, there was harmony and peace. The king's compassionate nature flowed through his veins, and his subjects thrived under his gentle guidance. However, little did he know that darkness was steadily making its way towards his castle. One fateful day, a beautiful maid arrived at the castle, her alluring appearance concealing a cruel heart. Disgusted by the king's kindness and generosity, she despised him and plotted his downfall. Cunningly, she began whispering venomous words into the king's ear, filling his mind with doubts and suspicions. As her wicked plan unfolded, the maid skillfully turned the king's closest friends against him. She spread malicious rumors of betrayal and deceit, tarnishing the king's once unblemished reputation. The weight of the lies and treachery began to take its toll on the king, and he found himself doubting his own ability to rule. One evening, when the sun had set and darkness draped the castle, the maid approached the king with a vial of poison hidden in her trembling hand. Offering him a goblet, she wore a facade of innocence as her eyes concealed the hatred she harbored deep within. But fate had a different outcome in store. As the king looked into her eyes, he saw beyond the veil of deceit. For the very first time, he saw the pain she carried within, the wounds that had twisted her heart. In that moment, a spark of compassion ignited within him, overpowering the anger and confusion that had clouded his mind. With gentle strength, he reached out and took her hand. "I see your pain," the king whispered, his voice filled with understanding. "And I forgive you." The maid's world shattered with those simple words. The vial slipped from her fingers, crashing onto the floor, and the poison she had intended for the king lost all meaning. She sank to her knees, tears streaming down her face, unable to comprehend the depth of the king's kindness. It was a kindness she had never known. In that moment, a transformation occurred. The maid's cruel heart softened, and she felt the weight of her own darkness crumbling away. She realized that the king's unwavering compassion, even in the face of betrayal, was stronger than any hatred she possessed. Overwhelmed with gratitude, the maid fled the castle that very night, leaving behind a wounded king who yet remained strong, though his heart carried scars. He refused to succumb to bitterness or vengeance. With grace and forgiveness, he continued to rule his land, knowing that his compassion had not only saved his own life, but had perhaps sparked a glimmer of redemption within his would-be destroyer. And so the tale of the king and the maid serves as a reminder that even in the darkest corners of our hearts, the light of forgiveness and compassion can illuminate the path towards salvation and healing. May we all learn from the king's example and strive to be kind, even when faced with cruelty and betrayal.